Welcome, fellow Xlanders. Thank you, everyone, for joining. We are going to be doing our weekly recap today. So this is the first time we are doing this. Give me 1 second here. I want to change my background. I have this war room background here, but I would like to maybe showcase one of our community created backgrounds. So if you're not familiar with, let's see, what is this? Bounty 8, which was one of our secret background or secret bounties. That was to create backgrounds for the different living quarters for our onboarding process. So I wanted to make sure that we highlight. We actually had 2 submissions so far. Zoe and TY Joe have both submitted backgrounds for Botany Bay. Seems to be a lot of excitement around that particular living quarter. We will go through who is where once we start the actual recap. So give me 1 second as I try to add this in, and we'll see if we can't get that as a background here. So let's see. All right. So there it is. Oh, now I feel much better. Now we have a community background. So this gorgeous background behind me was created by our community. So shout out to Zoe Wedgecloud for this amazing background, and is a submission for the Botany Bay Bounty. Say that 5 times fast. My goodness. All right. It looks like we got a lot of comments. Oh, my goodness. Hey, hello. All right. Let's go through our welcomes here. Moon Unit, Architect. Oh, we got all the good ones here. Pure Rolex. Love to see you. 3D Halo. Good. Oh, wow. I like the sound of that. All right. Welcome. Scotch is Soap, obviously, in the house. And we got Mars. And we got the Real Umbrella Boy. I see you around a lot. Shactalin. Oh, so glad to see you here. Glad you could make it. Robzilla. Yes, remember you or you could choose Botany Bay. That's true. I'm hoping that some of the other people in some of the other living quarters step up and create some really cool backgrounds. So if you're not familiar with that one, it is technically a secret bounty, but it is bounty number 8, I believe, on the list. Yes, bounty number 8. If you make a background for one of the living quarters, you could be eligible for a $20 prize, which is pretty cool. All right. Cool. All right. Oh, and look, people are liking it. Yeah, hold on. Let me move myself out of the way so you guys can see it. Ooh. Very cool. Thank you so much for submitting that. So let's go ahead and get into it. So not to be too nerdy, the blank board doesn't count. I mean, if you make a background of the blank board, so there was discussions of creating like a blank like cube that you could write on, which we might actually incorporate, but for now, that does not exist. All right. So, jump ahead here. Here we go. Look at this. See, so official. Look at this. I gotta get used to the camera angle. Here we go. Look, there's a slide deck and everything. Super professional. Let's do this. All right. So we got our agenda. We got a couple big things we're going to do here. We got the weekly recap. So what are all the amazing things this community has accomplished the past week? What are the active initiatives? So this will give the community a chance, because there's going to be a lot going on. And I know, for instance, if you're in Upland, sometimes the activities and things can get a little overwhelming. We definitely want to make sure we communicate with everyone in the community to find out what's the best way to make sure you know what's happening and we get you connected with the right events and bounties and contracts that make sense for you. So that is going to kind of give a summary of what's currently active, if you need a reminder, or maybe there's some things we want to bubble up to the top. And then looking forward. So what are the things that we hope to accomplish as a team and as a group moving forward? You know, the next week or two, what are some of the big initiatives, or what are the things you can start looking forward to as a community? So I think that should be good. All right. Late but here, humble. No, you are perfectly good. And in fact, if you were following on Discord, I accidentally had it at 4 p.m. And I'm so sorry if you were a 4 p.m. person and that was your time slot and now it got moved and you weren't able to make it. I am deeply sorry. The primary time for these is going to be 5 p.m. So that will be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. Will be 5 p.m. Saturday is at 8 a.m. And these are all Central Time. And there'll be a schedule posted, and I'll post it in Discord as well as Twitch. So you'll be able to hopefully follow along. And then as we ramp up, there might be some additional development streams or demo streams or Q&A as needed in between there as well. So boom. Never too late. Absolutely. I love that. That is a great attitude, Pure Rolex. Thank you very much. Okay. In Romania is 1 a.m. Wow, Pure. I appreciate that. So again, if we, for players like yourself, I do want to accommodate that. And as we grow, we'll try and get some different time slots so you don't have to stay up to the middle of the night to catch this. Everything is recorded. We have a YouTube channel as well that you can check out previous broadcasts. If you are a video editor too, it's not up as an official anything, but come talk to me. I would love to potentially bring on a video editor to do clips from Twitch and help with the YouTube stuff. So if that's your area, hit me up. If not, probably go to Fiverr, but I don't want to do that. I'd rather use somebody from the community or a friend of a friend in the community. So let me know. Okay. Oh, you're like together? Like you're in the same place? That's so cool. Well, thank you both for joining. All right. Lots of great things happening. So here's our weekly recap. So this week, it really was about, starting to build up the community. We focused a lot on our social media presence. We actually had at 3 p.m., so a couple hours, I think we've had some members join since then. We were actually at 800 exactly. I know it looks like I just wrote 800, but that was actually the number at 3 p.m. We had a server boost initiative, which was super cool to kind of get us so that way we could get the personalized extension and all the extra little perks for the community. That ended up spawning over 30 boosts. Now, I will tell you that bounty is technically still open. There's no pressure. We've already hit our goal on that, but I am leaving it open probably for another day or two, because if you didn't notice, if you boost in this first segment, you will be eligible then for the Genesis Boost Rocket Pack, which there are some really cool designs. I think Rocket Packs in general will probably be like a really fun perk. I like Rocket Packs. I don't know about you guys, but any game that has like something I could strap onto my back and potentially fly around is super compelling. Full disclosure, day one, it will be strictly ornamental, but we do plan on giving you that power. I think that's a really fun gaming mechanic, so we'll like to see that. So thank you for all those who boosted. You still got a couple days to get it in on that Genesis Booster Rocket Pack, which will be super cool. All right, bounties. So this was one of the big things for how we're going to operate as a team. Bounties are usually going to be the smaller things. Honestly, I know that it says that the reward will be under 1,000 USD, which is true. But honestly, for the most part, they're probably going to be $100 or less in value. The idea here is that they should be kind of quicker, smaller scope, drive a little bit of competitiveness between artists in the community. But I also want to make sure that you know that it's, I've had some people say, especially specific to the bounties, we don't really have, closure dates. Like here's, you have to submit it by this date, or anything like that. These are meant to be much more casual. And I want to make sure that everyone knows if you put a significant effort. So there's two major bounties out right now. Bounty number 1, which is for the Xlander model, and there is a bounty for the ambassador, the embassy, the UPX World Embassy, which will be the building that actually gets built in Upland, pending approval. So just know that if you put in effort to complete either of those, there's a really good chance that I just pay you for it, or we make another bounty. So we've seen it a couple times where people create some amazing stuff, and then I just kind of make another bounty and give it to them, or we can have multiple winners. So I don't want anyone to not participate in the hesitation of, oh, somebody else is already doing it, or I can't compete with them, because we have been very flexible. And if you are contributing, like those are the things that we want to see and will help us identify strengths in the community and highlight you as well. Like, even if it's not necessarily picked, like if you make backgrounds, I'll show it off. I'll give you a shout out, like whatever you want. We'll kind of make it worth your while. So I don't want anyone to put in effort and make it feel like it's wasted. We are very early on in this development. So there is no wasted effort, because you are either hopefully honing in a craft or creating some base assets that maybe you could use for future bounties, or gamification, etc. So keep up the great work. I love what the community is creating. We have such an amazingly diverse creative group. It's very exciting. So yes. All right. So contract soft launch. So this is something you might have seen on, like there's a channel for it, but there's nothing in it yet. So we did do a soft launch of the contracts, and there have been 2 contracts awarded so far. These contracts are more, well, they're contractual. So these are really where the heavy lifting of the development of UPX World is going to come from. These will traditionally be over $1,000. It doesn't necessarily have to be, depending on the type of contract, or the type of role that it's being filled. But these are going to be probably bigger contracts than the bounties. When we put up the contracts, if it is publicly posted in the contracts channel, we'll interview people. And if you feel like you or your team will be able to fulfill the contract, we'll have those discussions. And it will be very obvious. It will not be a situation where we'll have multiple people developing it. When you win the contract, you're awarded the contract, much like any other, business of, hey, look, we're going to put out the RF. Well, it'll be a drafted contract, and then we'll have that conversation if you feel like your team can accomplish it. So shout out and congratulations to Seppuku, who is Scotch and Soda here in stream. She has been absolutely crushing it, and helping us set up our social media. You've seen her on Discord and Twitter, and is incredibly helpful. And so much appreciated there. Excited to have her part of the team. And then the one and only Grom. I'm so excited to be able to work with Grom, and I think he's going to bring some real innovative designs from a data perspective. So Grom's role is he's essentially the head of the Upland data base for UPX World. And we're working on and I won't nerd out too much here, don't worry, a relational database. So it's going to be a different architecture than some of the other data sites. And it's going to allow us to do some amazingly fun things. So we'll see that progress over the next month. We are expecting the data site to be more or less complete September 1st, but don't hold us that date. I haven't solidified that, but we're looking at early September will be the first iterations of that. And that'll be backed by this amazing relational SQL database that Grom is helping. Not helping, he is building it. It's going to be awesome. If you are a front-end visualizer, if you are good with Power BI or Tableau, or you have another data visualization tool that you like, be sure to contact us. That is something that we are actively looking for to then build that layer on top of the database. So if you're familiar with working with structured data and doing data visualization, reach out to me because we might have a contract for you. All right. So that's our contract. That's going to be, again, this is really the meat and potatoes of UPX World. We are going to launch, well, I guess that's going to come up. I don't want to skip too much ahead. So streaming, we are doing live streams, like I mentioned at the top of the show, actually 6 days a week on this channel. And then we'll be hosting the UPX podcast on Thursdays. And again, there might be more streams beyond that as we ramp up, but I want to at least have some place that you guys can ask questions pretty much every day, because we are going to just slowly progress through this process and build this platform together. So we got that. Let's see what we got here. I'm going to take a second. I guess I'll close out this slide real quick. Xlander Chronicles, the first chapter. So we have that in the Discord as well as in Medium. Once again, Sebaku, thank you very much for helping correct my grammar and make the story a little bit more cohesive. This is our story. This is the Xlander story. This is the history and the buildup of what is going to become UPX World. So please, I hope if that interests you, if gaming lore interests you, the Xlander Chronicles is definitely for you. We have a role-playing channel in the server as well. And if you're not familiar with that, chat role play, when you're in that channel, you are essentially in character as your Xlander. So just interact with the community as if you are that character. So that's kind of the role there. It's really fun. You can have a little bit of fun with it. Scooby was in there, being the dog, and I really like it. I think to me that's a really fun piece of the community. You'll see me in there. If you boost the server, I try to put a fun little quip in there and have some fun interactions in character, right? So that's fun. All right. So before I go, let's see what we got in chat. So Dizzy confirms that they are friends with Pure. Good to know. And I don't know what Illuminati. Okay. 3D says it's Illuminati. Let's see. Yes. So the charity involvement conversation, I'm very excited about that as well. That came up at this week as one of the community suggestions, and we will be collecting those. So if you have an idea or something that you would like to see implemented in our layer 2 solution, let's have a conversation. So for instance, Humble brought up charity, and this is a great opportunity to create a dedicated metaphase. And if you're not familiar with metaphase, I would strongly recommend go look at some of our YouTube. We have all of the previous AMAs, and there's a lot of explanations. Or just wait till tomorrow, and we'll have another one, and we can go through it with you. But yeah, the charity involvement of having dedicated charity metaphases, I think, has a really high potential. I was even thinking about how do we almost get. We were talking about decentralization of revenue. How could we potentially create this instance for the charity and then give them passive revenue from the game? So we could give them digital assets like the NFTs and put that to their account and say, hey, now every time that somebody purchases this transaction, much like Upland was doing with their block explorers, but imagine that just being a permanent in-app purchase where you could purchase a charity armor or a charity item. And every time you do that, a percentage of that goes to a charity. There's lots of options that I am excited to explore there. Yes, I'm assuming that's talking about Scotch, aka Seppuku, and yes. Go team. You are part of the team, Artifact, so go you. Thank you. All right. I'd love to be role-playing. Go check out the channel. We're there if you like it. Greetings. Let's see here. Greetings to you as well. Aldair Gameland. Are you Gamelands in game? Is that, I assume, potentially? Okay. Oh, yes. Yes, feel free. Make a backstory as Genesis Xlander. So what we're going to be talking about here, and actually that's a good segment here, active initiatives. So the Genesis vessel onboarding. This is the big one that's happening for a couple more days. I cannot stress this enough. Please, please, please make sure that you and all your friends go into Discord, onto the onboarding channel, and select a living quarters. You want to be a Genesis Xlander. It's going to be a permanent mark of honor, and it's going to be a permanent part of the gaming lore. You will be on the Genesis vessel. You are part of the crew that establishes UPX World, and that will be forever part of this game and platform. So please, I urge you, make sure that everyone that you know or like in the space who's an artist, a creator, a gamer, even if they're not an upland, it doesn't matter. Get them connected to this project because you want to be on this. And to extend what Artifact has said is, yeah, please, if you're a Genesis, like, let's have it. Please feel free to create a backstory, some lore for your character, and we're happy to include that in the Chronicles. I love that idea of having backstory. So if that interests you, if you're interested in the role-playing aspect, please feel free to create that and post it to us, and we will include that in the Xlander Chronicles. We can make backstory chapters and spin-offs. So please do that. That would be awesome. Greets from Belgium. Welcome, Belgium. All right. I'm the shill hour guy, so let's do it. Yes, indeed. UPX World to the moon and past it. Yes, thank you, Scotch. Yes, Doc Jones. Jones is an OG in Upland. And I love your block. The Cowboy Block Explorer, to me, like your Block Explorer, is, in my mind, one of the iconic Upland Block Explorers. I just want you to know that. I absolutely love your Block Explorer, and I appreciate you displaying it so prevalently. All right. Belgium in the oh, we got Frump Land TV. Welcome, welcome. All right. Well, yeah, let's add to these medium articles. P.S. It's architect like architecture, not artifact. I can read. Thank you for correcting me. My reading is sometimes a little dyslexic. There we go. Architect. Sorry, NFT architect. Although NFT artifact sounds kind of cool too. All right. So what else do we have going on? We got the onboarding, and I'm going to open this up to you guys. There's currently 24 viewers, and we'll just, oh, you know what? I think I can do a poll maybe. Anyway, just go in chat. If give me a thumbs up if you like the current, like, we're going to shut the doors August 2nd. Like, that's it. If it's not full, close the doors. Don't matter. More resources for us. We want to get off this planet. So give me a thumbs up if that's your vote, or if you go, no, we want to fill it up. We want 817 Xlanders before we take off. So give me a thumbs down if you say no. Let's wait. Doc Jones says thumbs up. Slam the doors. If you ain't on, you're out. Like, that's it. Good luck. You can catch the next one. You can get to the next vessel. We're out of here. We're leaving. Agreed. I guess it shouldn't be shocking that the people who are on the vessel, who are like, wait, more resources for us, less Genesis Xlanders. Yes. Yes. Lock it down. All right. I think the community has spoken. The doors will be shut 8-2, probably at the end of the day, in all honesty. And that'll be it. Oh, just S kicker, what'd you miss? Oh, you missed everything, man. You're gonna have to go back and catch it. Yeah. You're either on the bus or you're out. That's right. All right. So that's it. Decided. And this is the other thing is everything we do is going to be kind of community driven. This is not, while we are not, and I want to make sure that this is clear. UpX World has no intentions of being like a DAO. We aren't a decentralized organization. We are a centralized organization. However, we want to decentralize the revenue streams and the activities around the gaming platform to the community. And this includes things like, any sort of major decisions, things like that. We are going to look towards the community for influence. Ultimately, it will be a centralized deciding factor, but we are going to take a lot of cues from the community. We do want this to be a community-driven project and platform. Okay. Cool. Yeah, thumbs up. No one had a kind heart like, no, we should make sure. Everyone's like, nope, shut the doors. All right. I'm glad to know what kind of Genesis X-Landers we're dealing with. All right. I got you. We got some. Look, everybody. Thumbs up. Yep. Shut the doors. Proper T's booping. She says, shut the doors. I hope you're in. Proper. All right. So that's good. All right. So now we got open bounties. So let's talk about the fact that there are still several open bounties. I'll go through them real quick. And then if there's any questions on them, we can ask. So bounty number 1 being the Xlander Avatar 3D model. This is currently available. It is starting at $400 for a completed 3D model. The other cool thing is this will be, kind of a base model for the Xlanders. If you wanted to make a variation, say you wanted to create the Genesis Xlander model, if you had some specific ideas on what that might look like, feel free to do that. These are going to be critical. We're going to need multiple models throughout this process. So even if you don't claim this bounty, if you are creating 3D models, know that there will be a ongoing need for Xlander models. And then once we get into modular, which I'll talk about later, where we'll actually have individual components that dynamically build the Xlander. So we'll get there. So then Bounty 2 was claimed. That was our VIX VIP icon, but it's the VIX, very important Xlander. Val Arts claimed that. Awesome job on that. Really like the VIX. We have Bounty 3, which is a booster one, which I mentioned previously. That'll stay open here until we close the doors, and then we'll lock that down. We'll probably have another booster reward later, but for right now, that should do us. Bounty 4, the Genesis booster rocket pack. So NFT Architect did claim that. I need to get you, actually need to get you paid on that. Remind me after this. Let's get you paid. Then we got the VIX booster pack from More Cheese, who also wins. So this is a great example. So we had the booster pack challenge, and Architect created one. More Cheese created a great one as well. And we split it out and said, hey, why don't we just give you both? So we like that. The number 6 is the Embassy building. So this is a big one as well. It's a $500 bounty, but we are looking for a 3D building, much like one that you would find in Upland. So it does have to be able to be a model that would be approved by the Upland team. I'm willing to work with you through that if you get pretty close, and then we can bounce it back and forth with the Upland team. So that one's outstanding. And I might even convert that one to a contract. There's a couple of people who have submitted some good stuff, and that might be a scenario where we convert that to a contract. I'm open to that conversation. Bounty 7 is a secret bounty, but I will reveal that secret here. It is there was during an earlier stream. So the secret bounties happen during a live stream, we will potentially come up as a community with something fun, and then put out a secret bounty. You have to have watched the video, or you can go back and watch it after the fact. This one is for the official beverage of the Genesis vessel. So feel free to participate in that. It is still open. That is a $50 bounty. The double secret bounty. So this one is this is like a true secret bounty. So if you were there, you know the secret recipe. And the reason that this one, you know what? I just realized that number 7, that drink bounty was in Discord. So I just actually revealed that one was actually a secret bounty as well, but that was through Discord. So that one wasn't recorded. So anyway, it looks like that one just got opened up to everybody else. But the double secret one, the people who know. Moon Unit knows. We got a super secret brew for veterans. This is going to be one of those things that we have that ends up being part of a deeper level to UPX world. You're going to have these kind of really interesting kind of undertones from the community. This one specifically is a veteran drink. It's a very specific drink that was designed by Moon Unit. The recipe has been destroyed. We deleted all content of what the actual recipe was. So unless you were there, you don't know what the recipe is, but there'll be little secrets and clues throughout the game and throughout our broadcast that maybe give you hints towards it. And it might be something special that you unlock. So we're going to have some fun with that. Bounty number 8 is the background. So I talked about that. That is still open. It's $20 a background. There's 6 different living units. So plenty of opportunity there. Number 9 was the Genesis Xlander badge. So we're looking for a Discord badge with a GX something or whatever that'll be the little next to all of the Genesis Xlanders. You'll get that badge. So that's fun. We've had a lot of really cool designs on that. Number 10, which was the last one, and that is the secret bounty from our stream on the 27th, and that is for Nanobots. So if you are a Nanobots, I guess, designer, I don't know if that's not a thing, but that is for the actual healthcare system. So we're talking about having good nanobots and bad nanobots, and that might be something, because I think somebody was saying, do we have medicine? That's how that came up. So anyway, that's a recap of the bounties. Go in, check the bounty board. Each bounty does have an active thread against it. So put your comment suggestions that are bounty specific in the actual bounty thread, so it's easier to manage. And then that way, we can find it easier and interact. Okay, cool. So let's see here. All right, I'm going to go back through chat here, making sure I didn't miss anything. Less mess for the bots. Nothing going to stop this. Thank you, Doc Jones. I agree. Nothing is going to stop it. Of course, Properties Boopin is in. Of course he's in. Can we meet in a Discord channel for this? I don't know what that was in context to. Sorry. I want to read a lot and connect. Yeah. Everything is in Discord. I'm happy to, host some, there's Discord chat channels as well. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Oh, hey, more cheese. Welcome. We were just talking about your awesome jetpack. Yes. All right. There we go. So that is what's going on right now. And I don't know what, I must have not finished this slide. It just says community, active initiative, community. Yeah. The community is an active initiative. Be sure that you go out, connect with our social media platforms. We are active on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and probably some Instagram at some point. Maybe we'll expand to some TikTok once we get more actual content. We'll do maybe little blurbs of the chronicles or something like that. That would be fun. All right, so that's where we're at now. So let's talk about what is coming up. Oh, yes. Hashtag UpXWorld. If you're going to tag us, that's our hashtag UpXWorld. Super easy. Let's go. Let's make it trend. Let's make this huge. It's going to be super fun. All right, looking forward, more contracts. So I mentioned it earlier in the broadcast. We are going to have the Xlander foundational game. I'm going to post that in contracts tonight. And that's going to outline kind of the first Unity-based game with an Xlander. At this point, it'll be an Xlander stand-in because we don't have the final model, but an Xlander stand-in, and it will be to generate a plot of land based on an upland property with the building. It will have an Xlander that's able to walk around and interact with its environment. Xenon, so I haven't talked a lot about it this week, but Xenon is the in-app kind of currency that you collect. It's the free currency, and it's really cool. It's the Xenon element, and there's actually a lot of really interesting science behind why that actually makes sense for us to be collecting. It can be used as a light and power source. And so as Xlanders, the particular planet, which we haven't yet crash landed on again. Oh, sorry, spoiler. If you don't know, the Genesis vessel crashes. But don't worry, still get on board. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine. We're not going to crash land. But if we did happen to crash land on an abandoned planet that happened to have an abundance of Xenon that we could then collect and rebuild our society on a desolate planet, hey, that might happen. So that's going to be the first game contract that we put out. It is funded at $7,000, and there's a payment breakdown, everything like that. So if you are interested in that, once we post it, you'll be able to apply for it, and we'll have a conversation on executing and timelines and things like that. So I think that will be very, very exciting, and we'll hopefully have a couple more contracts out as well. Let's see here. What do we have? Check-in chats. Oh, we got the Crypto Cat. Crypto Cat, yes. Yeah. All right. Welcome. Yes, all you new Crypto Cat. So if you're not familiar, that is one of the boarding landing areas. Yeah. More Cheese says, will there be factions? I'm glad it's yes. So factions, I haven't decided definitively on factions necessarily, but there are going to be two kind of, factions in a sense. One is going to be your neighborhood. So every neighborhood that you have a property in, think of those neighborhoods as essentially guilds, and owning a property in a neighborhood essentially makes you part of that guild. So there will be social neighborhood versus neighborhood contests. Neighborhoods will level up. They'll have experience based on the competitions that they compete in, the activity of their members that are contributing towards that neighborhood, etc. You'll be able to unlock mini games for your UpXWorld arcade through your neighborhood, etc. So that'll be one kind of faction is neighborhoods. But the other thing, which I think is kind of interesting as well, and one of our first contests is going to be city versus city. And I actually like the idea of having cities almost as factions. Now, for a city, we'll have to maybe have a threshold for number of properties owned in a city. And that'll be something that we get from the data site of, what encompasses, say, 70% of the owners. What's that cutoff? Is it 10 properties? Is it 50 properties? Is it 5 properties? What does that look like to say, hey, you need to have this threshold to be part of the city group? And then there'll be city battles, which I think will be really interesting. Shout out to Queens too, because Maze from Queens is doing like a organization of nodes that are specific in Queens. So I'm just saying they are already, in my mind, like the biggest competitor to San Francisco. Obviously, San Francisco being, in my mind, one of the more dominant cities as far as potential active neighborhoods. But we will see. There's a lot of young blood that are coming in these new cities. Rio has a great presence of nodes and communities, and we will see that as well. I feel very confident that the Queens team is going to put out a lot of strong things. So I hope that answers your question, more cheese. So not necessarily factions right away, but that is something that we would be open to looking at. All right. Any landing you can walk away from as a good? Yes. We definitely need to find a location in Upland to start the Genesis Xlander. Well, so this is the interesting thing here. So Xlander, like you could definitely do this, Architect. And that actually, you know what? I'll just let you run with it. If you want to have a Genesis Xlander node, go for it. I love you. 3D says LA, Los Angeles rules. Yes, there's actually going to be a lot of big stuff in LA as well. I'm not going to lie, a little bit interested to see how that plays out because there's some big teams in LA. Let's see. Yeah. Love the background. Yeah, right? It's a pretty stylish background. Thank you, Wedge. All right. Bronxdale node. Never forget the Bronxdale node. All right. Cool. So that gives us that. More bounties. So we will see a continued increase of bounties. This is something that we use to incentivize the community, get the community excited about something, either developing and using your artistic skills or your social media interaction. So we'll probably see some things ramping up this week around starting to continue to drive that conversation, that hashtag UPX world, to really make sure that we're reaching as large of a community as possible to start with. So we have a foundation of players and creators that will help kind of move us forward. And if you have an idea for a bounty, a lot of the bounties end up coming from the community as we're like, oh, you know what would be cool is if we had that. And we'll continue to try and integrate that as it makes sense. Obviously, right now, we're still in the very early stages. So almost anything that we hear that sounds semi-reasonable, we're probably going to incorporate. I wish it could stay that way forever. Likely it will have to, taper down a little bit as the community grows. But as Genesis Xlanders, I haven't put this into the server yet, but you're going to have your own private chat. So just know that there's going to be a private Genesis quarters that will be just for the Genesis Xlanders. And so, my commitment is that will be on par with, say, the VIX lounge and stuff like that. As a Genesis Xlander, it is important that that we take it very seriously, that you were one of the early adopters, that you saw the project, you saw the vision, and you were in early. So we do want to reward that. And so you will have a dedicated channel inside of Discord for all Genesis Xlanders. So look for that, especially after the boarding doors close. That'll kind of be like our secret huddle room for all of those Genesis Xlanders. White paper and roadmap. Two really, really big items on my plate. I am in the process of wrapping up a first draft of the UPX World white paper that kind of outlines our mission and our goals and kind of what separates us in the market and kind of what our overall strategy is. Expect to see that probably midweek on Medium, and we'll post it heavily on the Discord as well and Twitter, etc. But look for that this week to have that white paper. Also, my stretch goal is a roadmap, a more definitive roadmap, probably for the next at least through the end of the year. Kind of full disclosure, I think this year is going to be ramp up. So the plan is tentatively, don't hold me to this, that over the next month or two, we start to ramp up the foundational contracts and the foundational team, and then we start to bring in a couple games. I want to bring in a couple easy to adopt games and release that to the community as a proof of concept, start getting to people to play with it and kind of see the vision and be able to touch it. I think that's important. That's also going to, help us understand what we need to change with integration, say with Upland or with our data structure. So as we do that, there's definitely going to be opportunities to test different builds, to test different parts of the platform. So keep an eye out for that. That will likely fall into the bounty range of, alpha and beta testers. And there will likely be alpha and beta test badges. And so look for those. One thing I do want to call out here, we are not a metaverse, right? UpX World is not a metaverse. It's a meta multiverse. It is not built on the blockchain. It is built on metaverses that are built on the blockchain. And the reason I make this distinction is I want to make it very clear. This is not a scenario where I'm going to come on tomorrow and be like, hey, if you want to participate in this, you have to go buy this NFT. That's not the kind of project we're running here. We are building the functionality first and then connecting it and bringing in the community. So I just want to make sure that everyone understands that everything we're doing here is building up towards a gaming platform. And that's our primary goal. This is not the end goal of UpX World isn't to have, say, a successful NFT sale, because we're not selling NFTs. And I think that that's an important distinction of where UpX World is versus the other metaverses, or even some of the other layer 2 apps, I think are looking to make their own NFTs. And that's not to say that UpX World won't have NFTs, because we will have some NFTs, but they will be used to give to the artists and the creators. So if you've seen any of the streams about distributed and decentralized revenue streams, if UpX World does create NFTs, which I'm saying that they might, the purpose of that would be to give that to the creator. So for instance, this cool background, right? So let's say that we decided that this background was going to be an in-app purchase inside of UpX World. You could get a poster of this and put it in your dormitory. Boom, right here. I'm going to put this up as my background in game, and I'm going to purchase it for whatever, 1,000 UpX. The idea here would be that we, as UpX World, would create an NFT potentially, or Wedge could have their own NFT, and then we would link that. So here we go. Hey, here you go, Wedge. Here's your. Actually, it's an original asset record. This is the original asset record, which is an NFT. You hold this, and now every time somebody buys this really cool background in game, you get a piece of that. So that's the purpose of, if we do create NFTs as under the UpX World banner, it would be to just provide them to the artists or the creators. So if you create a building or a skin and you don't have an NFT collection or access to NFT creation, we will do that service for you. And it'll likely be on Wax, because that's the easiest. Wax Cloud Wallet. They're super easy to do. And then we'll create those. But that will it will not be for sale. We will not sell them. We will just give them to the original creators as a way to link that to the in-app purchases for them to earn passive income. And if you want to learn more about that, we have several AMAs on it. There's some slides that are shared with that content, and we can actually talk about it tomorrow or at a later time if you want. All right, so that is that. And so now we will open it up. We got 10 minutes left, and open it up to the floor here for questions. I'm going to go back and see if I missed any. thing here. Love background. Okay. P. Smith. Okay. Can't forget. Yep. Got that. Let's see. Shactalin says, well, the first games come to layer 2 at no cost to communities. I assumed customized metaphases will have to be ordered and paid for by communities. Is this correct? Great question. That is a fantastic question, Jacqueline. So the first games are going to be created, and the first metaphases really will be created and owned by UpX World. So those will be run, and those will be kind of like the official servers. So those will be, these are the servers that UpX World is putting together. These are the metaphases of UpX World. They will be the foundation of the gaming platform. What that's going to do is a couple things. It will give us kind of some larger scale metaphases with some higher level features and functionality. And then we will be able to scale that down into community metaphases. So again, if you say wanted to run a specific neighborhood metaphase, a community metaphase of some kind, we could do that. And as far as the cost, we haven't really worked that out. The idea is, I mean, we aren't necessarily looking to make a huge, we aren't trying to profit off of the community wanting to take advantage of that service. That's certainly not the goal. So really, if a community comes with the resources to kind of do the development, hopefully we'll have some foundational building blocks that it's very easy for the community to go and create themselves. I would like it to be as self-service as possible, much like Roblox or a Minecraft server. I want it to be a situation where communities can come in, they can pick their options. Now, some of them might be like premium options, like specific skins, stuff like that. Also, music and stuff, which is going to be super fun. So if there's specific soundtracks, there might be premium soundtracks that are created. Dr. Nobi had some sweet tunes for some racing games that he's putting together. So I know that there's artists as well that are creating some music. So there might be some premium add-ons to your metaphase. But again, all of those are tied into something that the community has created. So when you purchase those enhancements or those extras for your metaphase, that's going back, to the artists that created them, which is decentralized revenue streams, which is why I'm so excited about this, because to me, this is a fundamental paradigm shift in how gaming companies work. Like the traditional gaming company is we create and own all the assets. We create and own all of the in-app purchase revenue. Like you work for us and then we pay you a salary, but we take everything and we own the IP, etc. This is designed to be decentralized where the players own the IP. So layer 1 is about decentralization of assets. In this case, those assets are gaming assets. Those NFTs ultimately become the digital backbone of the game and represent all of the digital assets. So any of those digital assets that then have a premium purchase on them, you can earn passive income against, which is so fun. So I hope that answers your question a little bit. I probably went a little off, but yes. Is the engine Unreal or Unity? Did I say Unreal? I meant Unity. Unity is currently what we're working with, although I have had a couple developers say that they prefer Unreal. My market research for what is the best platform, especially we're really focused on mobile because mass market, you can't have a mass market anything if you aren't mobile first. I know Unreal definitely runs on some of the more mobile stuff, but Unity is what we went with for now. And if our developers that we bring on want to work in Unreal and we can figure out a better way to do it in that engine, I'm open to it, but Unity is what we're doing now. Does Upland have a preference or doesn't matter? Upland doesn't care as far as if you're talking about if the engine is Unreal or not. Upland doesn't care at all. It doesn't impact Upland at all. We're trying to have a metaphase presentation hopefully this week. Yeah. Oh, very nice. Cool. I hope that answered your question. Mars says, will we be able to have in-building experiences in layer 2? 100%. And in fact, that's actually part of, I didn't get to it, it's actually part of the first game, is that in order, to complete the contract, the Xlander must be able to walk around the property, have conflict or boundary resolution between the edges. So, make sure that you can't just like walk off the edge, and then the actual building. So, not conflict detection. Why could I not think of that phrase? Detection, boundary detection. Anyway, can't think of what it's. Anyway, so that will be, and then there will be a front door. So the developer will have to make it so that you can enter in the front door, and it must have at least 2 stories. That can be a single instance, like a game stage, or multiple game stages if you want to walk upstairs. But there needs to be an indoor component. That is going to be critical, because when we talk about the personal metaphase, which is, I think, going to be one of the biggest fun features, is that you'll be able to, once you claim your home inside of Upland and you go, this is my home, that you'll have a personal metaphase, which will be that property and your building. And then you'll be able to go inside the building, and inside your personal metaphase, the type of building will matter. So if you have an apartment, you'll have a lot more room. If you have a small townhouse, then you'll have a lot less room. We want to make that as an incentive for players to maybe start to upgrade, right? So maybe you start out in a very small property with a small townhouse because, you can find it fairly cheap, but then you eventually get a bigger plot of land with, maybe one of the new buildings, a modern townhouse, or a, apartment, something like that, to give you more room to decorate. And then that's where you'll be able to put, display your other NFTs that we link in. That will be where you can have you could have indoor block explorers. Block explorers in the world of UpX World are kind of like pets. That's kind of how we're looking at treating them, is that they will be like pets and companions and kind of sidekicks to your Xlander. So almost like I don't want to say Pokemon. I don't think we could say that. I don't want to get the Twitch shut down. So yes, and yes. I noticed that the bounties are archived. Will the unfulfilled bounties be reopened again? Yeah, so I think you can just go. Can you not reopen them? I'll go reopen all those after. I wasn't sure if people can reopen them. So that's a good call. I'll go and tag all of those chats. I think I had it set to 24 hours of inactivity. I'll increase that as well. Thank you for that, Wedge. Sounds awesome. I hope so. I hope you're excited. So apartment buildings all around. I don't know. There's some other cool buildings, but yes. All right. So last thing, the last minute. I do want to give everyone a heads up. This will be the last Twitch stream on this channel. Okay. So we are switching to a new Twitch stream. And so all of the communication moving forward will have that new Twitch stream. It's just slightly different. It is UpX World Live instead of UpX World Media. It's a fresh channel. It's really hard to get metrics because we have a lot of existing followers and things like that. So we are going to be going to a fresh Twitch stream to really be able to baseline, to understand kind of our viewer metrics and our player acquisition pieces. So look for that. Again, it is UpX World Live. The account should be out there. It does have a schedule. It's the exact same schedule as this one. All of the content from this channel will be on YouTube, but it will no longer be on this channel after today. So that is my final piece of housekeeping related to that. So just mark your calendars. And all of those who got subs, I'm so sorry. I know I just handed out like a freaking ridiculous amount of subs to this channel, which is fine. You could keep those subs. we'll definitely be doing a lot more sub giveaways and fun stuff on the other channels of UPX World Live. So be sure to check that out, and yeah, keep posted on that. And looks like we are at the top of the hour. I really appreciate all those who have tuned in today for our weekly update. I hope this was informative and gave you a little bit more of a feel of where we are as a community and where we're going as a team and project. It has been my absolute honor to be able to stream with you guys throughout this time, and I'm looking forward to many more broadcasts. If you would like to be a guest, if you have a lot of questions or you want to talk about a community project and how you could leverage UPX World or anything like that, by all means, let me know. We are happy to host you as a guest here. I have, if you're familiar with StreamYard, I can give you the StreamYard link. You could come on. We can discuss your project. We could talk about how Layer 2 can take it to another level, or what you're excited about or what you have questions. So that is it for today. Thank you, Xlanders. I will see you all in Discord. Again, make sure that you have that Genesis Xlander title. If you don't and you've clicked it, let us know. Tell your friends. We are very excited for what is coming. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Cheers.